Yes.
To me, hearing those words last fall from him was like deja vu, because that's what you taught us back in the 70s.
Thank you, because, you know, he is really a very special person. Just like everybody makes fun of Tim Tebow now, but he's a special guy too. I just hope that maybe nothing happens in his career where he's going to throw it away. I remember Magic Johnson. You remember how he got in trouble with the HIV? They really tore me up because I really love that guy. I think he's a great person today because he's overcome a lot of those obstacles, and he does a lot for people. He's a champion outside of basketball.
Yeah,
He's one of those kind of guys that knows how to instill a lot of good stuff in other young people, especially.
you feel over the years that your leadership style changed or adjusted to the times?
Well, I think I'm not going to say I'm a little easier. I'm a little bit more understanding. Where when my early years, I was pretty tough because I expected so much from those kids. I remember one time when I was at Shrine High School, I was really disappointed in the performance of the team. So when I had them at practice the next day, I had them crawl 100 yards on their fours and all the way back. And they were exhausted. I had around 38 players then, and I worried. I says, "Go on in. That's it." And I was wondering if they're going to come back the next day, and they came back.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of them. I said, "No, you guys, you got punished, and I think you deserved it. And I'd like for you to work a little harder now."
Dave Yeager must have been on that team, because he did that to us when he was our freshman coach.
Dave Yeager was a three-time sports star at Shrine. Played basketball, football, and baseball, and he was quite an athlete.
He was a very good coach.
Yes, he was wonderful. I remember playing racquetball with him. You know where Brother Rice is, Ted, and I used to beat him all the time. But a few years went by, and he come around and he says, "Hey, coach, you want to play racquetball?" I said, "Sure." I don't know. Are you up to trying to beat me again? He says, "Well, I've been working at it, and I'd like to try." And he started to beat me pretty regularly, and he was very proud. But there was about 25 years difference too. But
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's an excuse. But that's the kind of guy he was. He was a competitor, and he loved the game. I don't think you can be good at anything if you don't love what you do, regardless of what your profession is. If you don't love what you do, you're not going to be successful. Isn't that simple?
That was very simple, but it's very true. Do you feel as you've adjusted a little bit, I wouldn't say changed, but adjusted your coaching and leadership style, was it more to the times or to the situation?
Would you repeat that again, Ted?
In how you've changed somewhat of your leadership style and coaching style over the years.
Okay.
Has it been more in response to the times, different kids? I mean,
Yes, I think there are different things that are going on today that when I first started coaching, and like the telephones, the cell phones, when I first started coaching, I didn't, they weren't around. I mean, kids are a little bit different today. They go on more vacations. When I was growing up, the furthest I went was to Belle Isle, which was to across the, and we had fun, having picnics there and things like that. And when I went to Brother Rice, these guys were going to Acapulco. They were going, everywhere. Just recently, one of my kids, a great kid, he's going to go to University of Florida, not to play football, to go to school. Heck, he went to New York over the break, and then he spent a week in Acapulco, and then after that, they went to London, England, and got in a little few days there. Well, that's thank God they had, he comes from a wealthy family. But the kid is a great kid. I don't care, as long as he's I don't care what you do. If you got, you go home and you got a car and all that. I'm not used to all that, but if the kid has got a heart and he's willing to give everything he's got, I don't care where they're from. I had a boy named Jimmy Seymour, the whole family. Jimmy Seymour was one of the great All-Americans that Notre Dame has ever had. He became an All-American as a sophomore with Terry Hanratty. I don't know if you remember.
Time Magazine.
Time Magazine. He just passed away last year at age 64. He was an unbelievable athlete, and his brother, Paul, played at Michigan, and he was an All-American. There you go. So, it doesn't make any difference what kind of a background you've got. I remind my kids every fall about this. I don't care what you do, and I don't care what kind of a family background you have. All of us have the opportunity to play with your hearts, and that's very important. And we can do this if you put your mind to it.
You, you have a diary for every season.
A diary. I keep a little book for many, many years now, and I write down everything I do every day, so I can keep track of our practice schedule. And in that book, I designate to my coaches what I'd like for them to accomplish. But we sit down the day before or the couple of days before, and we all outline what we're going to do, what's important to do. We have to touch the offense, we have to do offense, we have to do defense, and we really work on kicking game. When you were playing for me, we ran the kicking game every single day. We still do it. We spend at least 15 to 20 minutes on the kick every single day. It wins football games.
Right. Do you ever go back to your old diaries when you're with a new team, or is it's always some fresh?
It's always, there. I don't have to go back because I do the same thing
Right.
almost every year with some changes.
Right. I've known you as a very organized person, and as a head coach, you have to be. What tools do you use to help you